Have you ever woken up and felt a strange heaviness? Not because of any major crisis, but because the world itself seems thicker and every step takes a little more effort. Sometimes it's not the big things that weigh us down, but the quiet accumulation of small hurts, misunderstandings, and unspoken disappointments. Words that usually bounce off suddenly sting, and even silence can feel deafening. Why do these feelings arrive unannounced, like rain on a cloudless day? And most importantly, how do we keep them from pulling us under the surface? Imagine holding a cup of water. At first, it's so light you barely notice it, but if you carry it for hours, all day, even your arm starts to ache. Not because the cup is heavy, but because you haven't put it down. Emotional pain works the same way. It's not always about the size of the hurt, but how long we clutch it without rest. If you're watching this, you might be carrying something invisible, yet real: loneliness, guilt, exhaustion, or just the quiet longing to feel light again. Buddhism offers something rare in these moments. Not false hope, but gentle honesty. This series isn't about pretending everything is fine or about selling quick fixes. Instead, it's about sharing truths that have offered comfort for thousands of years. Truths that help us breathe when we feel close to drowning. Welcome to Insightful Journey. Here, ancient Buddhist insights are shared in a way your heart can understand. Without preaching or pressure, you didn't find yourself here by accident. If this video helps you feel even a little lighter, please share that feeling. Like, comment, and subscribe. With so many people watching but so few subscribing, your support truly matters. It helps us continue to create spaces for healing and understanding. Let's begin together. The Buddha never claimed life would be peaceful and painless. In fact, the very first lesson, the first noble truth, recognizes the presence of dukkha, the natural pains and aches of being human. Feeling low isn't a failure, it's part of the path. Monks have cried, sages have felt lost. The difference is in how they respond. They don't deny the pain, nor do they run from it. They sit with it, breathe through it, and let it pass, like watching a wave rise, crash, and return to the ocean. The heart of Buddhist wisdom is learning to feel without becoming what we feel. To trust that even the darkest nights end in dawn. To know that sadness, like all things, will change. We'll explore these ideas together, piece by piece, not just as concepts, but as ways to see and hold our sorrow differently, not as brokenness, but as part of being beautifully imperfectly human. You are not alone in this. You are not wrong for feeling what you feel, and you don't have to stay under the weight of what you carry. There's a simple truth, one most people spend their whole lives trying to avoid. Suffering is part of life. Pain, loneliness, confusion, they visit everyone regardless of who you are. They arrive uninvited, like the wind, and they only leave when we've heard what they came to say. When you feel pain or sorrow, especially when life's disappointments or losses land in your lap, it's only natural to ask, why must I endure this? That question isn't a failure, it's a sign of your heart's tenderness. I asked it too for years, until I realized fighting the question only extends the hurt. The real change began when I finally sat with that uncertainty, instead of battling it. In Buddhism, the Buddha gave a profound but gentle answer: the Four Noble Truths. The first truth is simply this: life includes suffering. It's not that life is cruel, it's that everything is always changing, and our hearts resist that change. Think about it. Sadness arises when a loved one leaves, not just from the leaving, but from the longing that they might have stayed. Frustration comes when things don't go as planned, not just from the failure, but from the expectation that things should have gone differently. Loneliness carries the ache, not only of being alone, but of wishing you weren't. In each of these, suffering isn't just what happens, it's the distance between how things are and how we want them to be. Buddhism reminds us that pain is natural, but much of our suffering is a story we create. Imagine a man walking on a scorching day. The heat is unpleasant, his body tired. This is the first arrow, the natural discomfort of life. But when he begins to lament, "Why is this happening to me? It's not fair. I can't stand this," he shoots himself with a second, third, and fourth arrow. The suffering grows from thoughts like, "This always happens to me," or "I'll never be happy again," or "I'm not good enough." These are self-inflicted wounds, extra layers of pain we don't need to carry. So how do we begin to heal? Sit with me for a moment. Breathe deeply, slowly, gently. Is there tightness in your shoulders? Let them relax. Heaviness in your chest. Notice it without trying to fix. Healing begins not by forcing a change, but by noticing without judgment what's already present. Our minds are always busy remembering, wanting, fearing, regretting, but rarely are we taught to simply be with ourselves. Buddhism isn't about guilt or punishment. It's the practice of kindness toward your own heart. When the Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree, he didn't escape suffering. He looked clearly at it and understood it deeply. This is the second noble truth. Suffering has a cause, and that cause is attachment. Our clinging to people, outcomes, ideas of how life should be. Life moves and shifts, as it always does. When it does, we sometimes feel betrayed. But life didn't betray you, it simply changed. Let me share a story. Once a young monk cherished a beautiful clay bowl given to him by his teacher. He cared for it deeply. One day he tripped, and the bowl shattered. Heartbroken, he wept, not just for the bowl, but for what it symbolized. Love, connection. The teacher gently asked, "Why do you cry?" The monk replied, "Because it was precious to me." The teacher smiled. "Did you believe it would last forever?" The monk fell silent. The teacher continued, "Everything is fleeting. People, circumstances, even feelings. When we forget this, we suffer. When we remember, we can loosen our grip." This isn't about refusing to love or hope. Love fully, but know that love too is like a river, its shape always changing. So what do? We stop clinging so tightly. We watch our thoughts and feelings not as enemies to be fought, but as guests passing through, sometimes welcome, sometimes not, but always moving on. We shift the question from "Why is this happening to me?" to "What is this teaching me?" That's where wisdom begins. The third noble truth is hope. Suffering ends. Joy comes and goes. So does pain. No feeling lasts forever. Have you ever cried yourself to sleep, then smiled at a bird's song or a child's laughter the next morning? That's proof. Sadness doesn't stay forever. The fourth noble truth is direction. There is a path. The Eightfold Path offers a way to walk through difficulty with compassion and clarity. We'll explore this together as we go. For now, simply know, you are not helpless. There is a way forward, even now. What can you do when you feel down? Stop judging yourself for being human. Sadness isn't a mistake. It's a soft bell inviting you to pause and listen. Let yourself rest. Sometimes, what we need most is honest rest, not immediate change. Breathe deeply. Each breath can be a gentle promise. I am here. I am listening. Remember the teacher's lesson. Even the Buddha felt pain before he awakened. He sat with it, watched it, understood it, then found peace. You are not alone in this, and you are not wrong for what you feel. The pain isn't a sign that you are broken, but that you are alive, open, and beneath it all, capable of great compassion for yourself and for others. Sit with what you feel, and in time, a deeper kindness may quietly reveal itself to you. Letting go, the art of emotional release. There is a wounded part of each of us, longing not for judgment, but for kindness. Suffering, as you sense, is not the enemy, it is the great teacher. By being present, listening, breathing, and allowing your heart to feel, you are already learning, already growing. No need to rush the process. Let your heaviness be acknowledged, and also let it rest. Tonight, if your heart feels burdened, let it. You don't owe the world cheerfulness in this moment. Instead, remind yourself quietly, this too shall pass. It will, and when it does, you may find yourself softer, wiser, more deeply alive. Not because the world has transformed, but because you. The nature of holding on. We often think of letting go as a loss, as though we're surrendering or giving up something precious. But what if letting go is in fact the art of dropping what was never ours to carry? It doesn't mean ceasing to care. It means stopping the habit of clinging to old words, past wounds, people who have left, regrets, and futures we cannot control. Like holding a sharp knife, the tighter you grip, the deeper the pain. Yet so often, we grip tighter still. We collect invisible burdens, stones of anger, sacks of disappointment that weigh us down, unseen but always felt. Letting go what it is and what it isn't. Letting go is not about forgetting or losing what matters. The stories, the love, the lessons remain. Letting go simply means not living inside the wound. It is the choice to honor what was, and then gently to make space for what might be. Imagine a garden. You plant a tree, nurse it, sit beneath it. One day lightning strikes, and the tree is gone. You can mourn forever, or you can honor its memory, plant anew, and allow life to continue in that space. Letting go makes room for growth. The courage and release. We sometimes confuse letting go with weakness, as if moving on, forgiving, or ceasing to fight is surrender. But consider, who is truly stronger? The one who clutches the past, afraid to release, or the one who, having felt the weight, softly sets it down and walks forward? Letting go is not about being strong in the way the world often measures strength. It is about being gentle with yourself, honest about your pain, and open to the possibility of healing. Practical steps toward letting go. Acknowledge your feelings without judgment. Sadness, anger, regret, they are all valid, all teachers. Let yourself rest. Sometimes healing is not about doing, but about allowing. Remind yourself of impermanence. No feeling, no situation lasts forever. Honor what was. Memories and lessons need not be erased, just gently held, not clutched. Make space for the new. Letting go is an act of trust in the possibility of renewal. A final invitation, come sit with me. Let the world grow quiet for a while. You have cared enough. Your shoulders have carried much. Your mind has raced. Your chest has held back more than tears. Tonight, you are invited to set the bag down. Not because you are giving up, but because you are choosing to live, not in the shadow of what was, but in the light of what may yet be. There is lighter ahead, always more peace than you expect. Let us walk this path together. The wisdom of non-attachment, letting go as spiritual practice, the parable of the clenched fist and the open hand. There's an essential choice in healing. Will you be the one who clenches a fist until it bleeds, or the one who opens their hand and releases what was never meant to stay? Letting go is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's not denying pain, but looking at the past fully, feeling it deeply, and then choosing, with compassion, to move forward. Letting go, the heart of Buddhist non-attachment. In Buddhism, this is called non-attachment, a gentle yet radical practice. It means learning to love without clinging, to feel without being trapped by those feelings, to hold life lightly because change is inevitable. If you lose someone you love, clinging will compound your suffering. Letting go doesn't mean you won't feel pain, but you won't be stuck in it. This is the beginning of healing. How to begin the practice of letting go. Awareness. Notice what you're clinging to, a memory, a person, an expectation, or even an old version of yourself. No need to judge or fix it, just feel fully. When pain or longing arises, resist the urge to push it away. Breathe into the feeling, allow it to rise and fall like a wave. Watch it break, then fade. Kind self-talk. Whisper softly, "It's okay, I can let this go, I'm safe now." Let your own voice comfort your heart. Daily practice. Letting go is not a one-time event. Some days, you'll release with ease. Other days, you'll grip tightly. Keep practicing. The path of letting go spirals. You may revisit old pain, but with less weight each time. The spiral path of release, letting go, is not linear. You'll circle back to the same pain, but each time, you'll carry it differently, with a lighter touch, with more peace. The greatest pain in holding on is that your hands, filled with yesterday's grief, cannot receive today's joy. Sometimes what you're clinging to has already let go of you. The relationship ended, the job is gone, the old self has changed. But the mind lingers, replaying the past. Buddhist insight. Everything passes. Buddhism teaches that everything that arises also passes away. Joy, sorrow, gain, loss, praise, blame. If you try to hold the river, you'll drown. If you relax, you'll float. You might say, but I can't forget them, or I can't forgive myself. That's okay. Letting go doesn't require perfect forgiveness or total forgetting. It only asks for one small opening, a single breath, a single moment of saying, I don't need to carry this forever. Letting go is a way of being. Letting go is not a single act. It's a way of moving through life, with open hands, a light step, and a heart willing to feel, then release, again and again. It's about the small, brave choices, choosing silence instead of argument, rest instead of rumination, a walk outside, a deep breath, a kind word to yourself. These are the seeds of release. The breath, as a teacher. In meditation, the breath teaches us to let go. Inhale deeply, exhale completely. You don't control the breath's return. You trust. Life is like this. You must release to truly live. Placing a hand on your heart. When pain feels overwhelming, place your hand over your heart. Feel its quiet but persistent beat. This heart has broken, mended, and still beats, not just to keep you alive, but to remind you that healing is always possible. You are not weak for being hurt, not foolish for having loved, not broken for feeling lost. You are human, learning to be free. The most powerful truth. Letting go is not something you do once. It is something you become. It's the ongoing choice to move through life with open hands, releasing what no longer serves you, making space for what new joy might arrive. Child, this is your invitation. Take a breath, open your hand. Trust that on the other side of release, peace, and more of yourself await. The power of the present moment. A Buddhist path to peace, leaving behind what no longer serves you. Let's walk together now with gentle awareness. Notice what you carry, anger, guilt, and that inner critic whispering, you're not enough. These are burdens you've learned to set down, but the work is ongoing. You are enough, just as you are. With each step, as you release the old, you create space for joy, for peace, and for a kind of strength that cannot be taken from you. Letting go isn't loss. It's the beginning of meeting life fresh, with openness to what might come, the freedom of non-pretending. Sit, rest. There's no need to hurry or hide behind I'm fine. Simply be still. Breathe. In this moment there is nothing else you need to do. This moment is enough. This is radical permission to exist as you are. No more. No less. It's the foundation of Buddhist mindfulness. Not striving, but noticing. Where is your mind right now? Ask yourself honestly, where is your attention? Is your mind caught in the past, replaying mistakes, words you wish you hadn't said, moments that still hurt, or is it leaping ahead into the future, anxious about what might happen, trying to control every variable? Most of us live like this. Our bodies here, our minds elsewhere, and it is here, in this split, that suffering takes root. Suffering lives in the stories we tell about the past and the future, not in what is actually happening right now. The Buddha's secret. Peace is only here. The Buddha's great insight is simple. Peace is only ever found in the present, not in the past, not in the future. The past teaches us, the future calls us to plan, But the present is where we heal, where we find true abiding peace. Our minds are like restless monkeys, swinging from thought to thought, rarely resting. But each time we invite our attention back to the now, the mind begins to quiet, to settle. In that return, peace finds a Zen story. Drink your tea. A student once asked his Zen master for wisdom, lost in regret and fear. The master, pouring tea, simply said, "Drink your tea." The lesson? Be present, fully with what you are doing. When you drink tea, just drink tea. Feel its warmth, the cup in your hands, the scent rising. Do not let your mind drift to future worries or past sorrows. Be here, with yourself, in this act. This is mindfulness, and it isn't reserved for monks on mountaintops. It's something you can do anywhere, at any time. Ordinary moments, as sacred practice. Mindfulness is not found in grand gestures, but in ordinary acts. Eating just to eat, walking just to walk, crying just to cry, smiling deeply because the moment invites. Most of us are learning to pay attention, not just with our bodies, but with our hearts and minds, in unity. Real strength comes when body and mind meet in the same moment. The present as gateway to peace. The present moment is not just a tick of the clock, it is a sacred doorway. Anyone can step through. You don't need wealth or a perfect life or special status. All you need is the willingness to notice. Look around you now. See the soft light, the shape of your hands, the steady rhythm of your breath. Rest here. Your breath is your companion, faithful from birth. A reminder you are alive, and that in itself is enough. Happiness. Not a destination, but a return. Many believe happiness is something we'll find later, when we achieve, when someone returns, when life is perfect. But happiness is not a distant land to be reached. It is a habit of returning, again and again, to the present. Are you safe right now? Are you breathing? Are there small joys nearby? A bird, a flower, a gentle sound? If so, you already have peace within you. Peace doesn't need to be chased, just allowed, invited, recognized. Learning from the trees, a tree doesn't mourn the last storm or dread the next. It stands, it sways, it breathes, it offers shade, it grows, all right now. Why can't we be like that? Because our minds are noisy. But there's a gentle remedy, attention, not force. Guide your mind back, kindly, like a parent with a restless child. Over time, the mind learns to rest. A gentle invitation. The present moment is always here, always inviting. You don't have to wait for permission to enter. Come, sit, breathe. Trust that each time you return to now, you plant the seed of. Over time, it will grow, just by your noticing, by your gentle presence, by your willingness to let go and begin again. You are enough. You are here, and in this moment, that is all that matters. The healing power of the present moment. Even when your life feels broken and your heart aches, the present moment still offers healing. Not because it magically erases your pain, but because it provides a space where you can simply breathe. Feel. In that pause, however brief, you begin to rediscover your strength. In Buddhism, the past is memory, the future is imagination. Only the present is real. Most of your worries are not about what's actually happening right now. They are shadows cast by your mind's restless movements. The light of the present, when you truly notice it, has the power to dissolve those shadows, offering relief and clarity. Coming back to the present is not meant to be an escape from your life, but a way to fully enter it. Sense your feet on the ground. Feel the temperature on your skin. Listen to the world around you. All of this is real. All of this is happening now. In this now, there is a quiet joy, a soft peace, a deep truth. You are alive. That is enough. Even if everything feels uncertain, this breath is certain. Even if the future is unclear, this moment is clear. Even if you've made mistakes, this second is new. Let the present be your anchor. When your mind wanders, when your heart feels heavy, when life races by, come back. Not with judgment or pressure, but with kindness. Gently say to yourself, hello, breath. Hello now. I'm here. Meditation is simple return. Meditation is not about sitting like a statue or emptying your mind of all thought. It is about returning again and again, with gentle awareness, to what is happening right now. In this repetition, you grow. You learn that life's richness is found in noticing the small things. A friend's laughter, the warmth of sunlight, the stillness in your room, the comfort of silence. These are gifts of the present, always available, always waiting. Whenever you feel lost, pause. Feel your breath. Look around. Be here. Here is where life happens. Here is where healing begins. Here is where you find yourself again. No matter how far your mind travels, the path always leads back to now. Walk gently. Breathe slowly. Let the present moment hold you. Like a warm blanket on a cold night. You are safe here. You are enough here. You are home. Finding peace through impermanence. Let's sit together as the dust settles. You've listened deeply, your heart wide open. That is a great journey in itself. Now let me share one of Buddhism's most profound truths. Everything changes. Nothing remains the same. In Buddhism, this is called anatta, impermanence. No feeling, no moment, no person, no thought, good or bad, lasts forever. Everything is always shifting, moving, transforming. At first, this might sound sad. You might ask, if everything changes, what can I hold on to? What can I trust? But let's turn that question around. If the pain, sorrow, and tightness you feel are also impermanent, doesn't that bring light into the darkness? No hardship lasts forever. This too will pass, not as a cliché, but as a truth you can feel in your heart. Look outside. The seasons change. One moment everything is lush, the next it fades, and soon new life emerges. This is the rhythm of all things. Even the sharpest grief, the heaviest burden, will change its shape and intensity. Wisdom and comfort in change. Impermanence is not only the truth of your suffering, but also the promise of renewal. When you truly understand this, not just intellectually, but emotionally, pain and fear begin to lose their grip. You start to trust life's ongoing process, even as you honor what you feel right now. You are not meant to hold on to anything forever. Instead, you are invited to experience, to learn, to let go, and in doing so, to make space for what is yet to come. Your practice is not to resist change, but to flow with it. So the next time you find yourself overwhelmed, remember, this moment, whatever it holds, is already changing. Rest here, right now, and let yourself be carried by the gentle river of your life. Breathe, notice, be here. This is the way of peace, flowing with impermanence, the wisdom of change. Spring doesn't last, but neither does winter. The tree drops its leaves, not in sorrow but as preparation for renewal. The river never clings, it moves forward, relentless and soft. You too are meant to feel, to flow, to grow, to release, not because you are weak, but because this is the way of all things. Why do we suffer so much? Because we cling to what is, by its very nature, destined to pass. We hold tight to people, moments, dreams, even versions of ourselves that no longer fit. We beg life to stand still, but life is like wind or tide. It moves. When we resist that movement, pain arises. Change, someone leaving, a dream ending, a door closing, often feels sudden, unfair. Yet nothing was ever promised permanence. As the Zen saying goes, the flower falls even though we love it. The weed grows even though we do not. Things come, things go, and peace arrives when we stop arguing with that. A monk once sat by a lone, beautiful flower, mesmerized by its perfection. The next day, he returned to find it wilted. Asked if the flower had died, the monk replied, "No, child, it just changed, and I'm grateful I saw it all." This is how we are invited to see life, not as something to keep, but as something to appreciate deeply while it is here. When you truly understand impermanence, you stop demanding constancy from what was never meant to last. You no longer expect people, emotions, or situations to remain unchanged. Instead, you cherish the now. You look at a loved one and realize, one day I may not see them, so I'll see them fully today. In joy, you breathe it in, knowing it will pass. Even sorrow softens, because you know it too is fleeting. Impermanence is not about fear or loss, but about awareness and gratitude. So many suffer not because they lose, but because they expect everything to stay. But clouds drift, sunsets fade, laughter dissolves, as does pain. This is a gift. Every breath is a new beginning, every morning a fresh page, every sorrow its own end, every wound able to heal. You might wonder, if nothing lasts, what can I hold on to? Your anchor is the wisdom that everything changes. Not the things themselves, but the knowing behind them. When storms come, a tree with rigid branches breaks, one that bends survives. So too, with your heart. Flow, sway, bend with grace. Whisper to yourself, this too will change. Not to escape, but to stay gentle. Let it be a quiet refrain, reminding you, life is movement. Life is a dance. You are the dancer, not because you control the music, but because you have learned to move with it. Take a deep breath, inhale, exhale, let it go. You cannot hold it forever, but it nourished you while it stayed. This is life, everything is borrowed, nothing is owned. The people you love, your dreams, even your body, all are gifts on loan. Knowing this, each moment becomes sacred. Say what you need to say. Love while you can. Cry, laugh, feel fully, and when the moment passes, bow with gratitude. Let go, not because it didn't matter, but because it did. When impermanence is no longer a threat but a teacher, fear quiets, suffering softens, and a new strength is born, not to control life, but to trust it. You are not here to freeze time, but to walk through it with grace. Let the seasons turn, let the leaves fall, let the moon rise and fade, let your heart feel and release. Most of all, let yourself change, because you will. Peace does not come from holding tighter, it comes from holding lighter, with open hands, open eyes and an open heart. When you live like this, impermanence becomes not an enemy, but a guide, a gentle whisper. Look closer, feel deeper, don't miss this moment. It won't come again. Child, you were made to move with life, not against. Let yourself be carried by the river, shaped by the seasons, softened by the dance. This is the way of wisdom. This is the path of peace, the path of heartfelt balance, embracing the middle way. Balanced presence, the heart of the middle way. Life is not about perfection, nor is it about the extremes of pain or joy. Balance is not what the world sees on the outside. The image of having it all together. True balance is found within, a quiet, steady presence amid the chaos, the storms, the beautiful unpredictability of life. The middle way, in Buddhism, teaches us not to cling too tightly to joy, nor to sink into despair and suffering. Instead, it invites us to walk with awareness, neither running from what is difficult, nor grasping for what is fleeting. May I be happy, may I be peaceful, may I be free from suffering. These words are not empty phrases. Each time you repeat them, you plant seeds of compassion in your own heart. With each repetition, gentle, loving, free from pressure, you begin to water these seeds. Balance grows from this inner tending. Compassion, from self to stranger. Compassion begins with you. When you feel lost, unworthy, or tired, speak to yourself, as you would to a dear friend. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to be in process, imperfect, even broken. The greatest act of courage is to offer yourself kindness. This does not mean ignoring pain, but holding it with gentleness. Compassion does not stop with you. It ripples outward to those you love, to those you know, even to those who have caused pain. Compassion does not excuse harm. It does not require you to forget, or to allow yourself to be hurt again. True compassion sees clearly. You recognize that even those who hurt you are often suffering themselves. Their cruelty, anger, or lies come from their own inner pain. Understanding this does not justify their actions, but it sets you free from the weight of bitterness and revenge. Holding on to hate is like drinking poison and hoping someone else will die. The only one harmed is you. Forgiveness born of compassion is like dropping a heavy rock. Suddenly, you can walk, breathe, live again. This is real healing. Practice the beginning of compassion. Sit quietly. Place your hand on your heart. Whisper, "May I be kind to myself." Think of someone suffering, a friend, a stranger, even someone you dislike. Whisper, "May they find peace. May they be free from pain." Do not wait until you feel ready. Begin now, exactly as you are. Remember, compassion can look small, a kind word, a silent prayer, a moment's patience. But inside it moves mountains. The most in need of compassion is often the person in the mirror. Offer yourself comfort when you're tired of carrying the world. Speak gently to yourself when you feel unworthy. Remind yourself, "Even now I am doing my best." In Zen they say, there is no path to compassion. Compassion is the path. You do not have to wait to be healed or good enough. You begin today, and in beginning, healing comes. A world of shared gentleness. Imagine a world where we all practice this, where we pause to understand instead of rushing to judge, where we saw each other as fellow travelers, each carrying invisible wounds. Such a world begins with you. Every time you choose compassion over anger, kindness over shame, understanding over blame, you add light to your own life and to the world around you. Compassion is not weakness, it is courage. It is not softness, it is strength. Compassion is an everyday revolution, a quiet, fierce act of returning to balance again and again. A gentle invitation. If your heart is tired, hold it. If your mind is restless, sit with it. If your soul feels heavy, rest. When tears come, do not be ashamed. Each tear is a prayer, a cleansing. The river of healing does not flow in straight lines. It curves, twists, and sometimes slows to a trickle. Let it flow as it will. You are the gentle place you long to find. You are the voice you once needed. You are the warmth that turns pain into peace. Walk this path with kindness as your guide and compassion as your lamp. Step by step, heart open, hand extended, always beginning again. The true nature of happiness: you are not alone, you are more lovable than you've ever believed. Hold this truth close, and as you do, let it unfold in you like spring after a long winter. Slow, tender, unafraid. Compassion is always the first light of morning, even in the darkest night. It is the unwavering certainty that happiness is not only possible, but that it already exists inside you, waiting to be recognized. The search for happiness. Everyone seeks happiness, yet few truly understand where to find it. The world whispers that happiness comes from having more, achieving more, being more. We chase it in things, people, praise, success, anything outside ourselves. But this kind of happiness is fleeting, like a candle flame in the wind, flickering brightly for a moment before emptiness returns. When was the last time you felt truly happy? Was it when you received something new, a compliment, a declaration of love? Maybe. But how long did that feel last? Soon we find ourselves wanting more, believing that the next thing, the next person, the next achievement will finally bring lasting joy. This is the endless cycle of chasing happiness that depends on the world outside, is unsteady, always rising and falling, never truly ours. Lasting happiness, sukha. Buddhism speaks of a different kind of happiness, sukha, a joy that does not flicker or fade. This is not the excitement of new things, but a deep, abiding peace that remains even when life is dark or difficult. This happiness is not given to us, it is uncovered within us. Where does this lasting happiness come from? It grows when we stop chasing, when we learn to be content with what is, rather than what we wish was. It begins with knowing yourself, Not the stories your mind spins about who you should be or what you should have, but who you are, right now with all your flaws, fears, and beauty. Imagine your mind as a lake. When winds of worry, desire, or anger stir the water, it becomes choppy and unclear. But when the winds settle, the lake becomes calm, clear, reflecting the sky and trees in perfect stillness. It is in this calm that happiness shines from within, like sunlight on still water. The Buddha's teaching, your own cup. There is a story about a wealthy man who comes to the Buddha saying, "I have everything, but I am not happy." The Buddha replies, "When you are thirsty, does drinking someone else's water quench your thirst? No, you must drink from your own cup." So too with happiness. You cannot find it outside yourself. When you are unhappy, turn inward, find the peace already there. Happiness is not something others give you, or you find in things. It is something you uncover in yourself, when you stop running and start noticing. And you may ask, does this mean I should expect a life with no problems? Not at all. Even the Buddha faced struggles. The difference is how he met them with awareness, acceptance, and when you let life be as it is, imperfect, sometimes hard but always real, you find a quiet happiness that cannot be taken from you. No matter what happens. A simple practice, each morning, before you rush into the day, sit quietly, say softly to yourself, "May I be happy. May I find peace today. May I be kind to myself and others." Throughout the day, whenever sadness, anger, or fear arise, pause, take a deep breath. Remember, happiness is never lost. It is inside you, waiting for you to return. Stop comparing yourself to others. You do not need more to be enough. You are enough, just as you are. When you truly know this, deep joy rises naturally, like a spring quietly bubbling beneath the earth. The place of pleasure and fun, is there still room for fun and pleasure? Absolutely. Fun, laughter, enjoyment. These are gifts, but if you rely only on these to feel happy, you will always feel empty. They are like refreshing rain, but the well of your happiness is much deeper. You are not asked to reject life's joys, only to see them for what they are, impermanent, beautiful, but not the source of lasting peace. The invitation, sit with yourself, be honest about what you feel. Let go of the stories, the expectations, the worries that swirl in your mind. True happiness grows when you stop seeking outside and start coming home to yourself, just as you are, in the stillness, in the quiet, in the simple act of sitting with your heart. You'll find what you've been seeking all along. It's not far away. It's not a bright, unattainable star. It's already here, in you, waiting to be seen. Let yourself be the one to find it. Let yourself be the one to know it. Let yourself be the one, finally, to trust it. The nature of true happiness and the illusion of control. Pleasure comes and goes. The joy of a new experience, a compliment, or a moment of fun is real, but fleeting. True happiness is different. It is not something outside you that you must chase and catch, but a home inside you that weathers every season. When you cultivate happiness from within, it becomes a steady light, not extinguished by the fading of temporary pleasures. You cannot pour kindness, joy, or peace into the world from an empty cup. When your heart is full, filled from within, your smile, your generosity, and your sense of peace radiate outward, touching everyone you meet. Happiness is not a distant goal. It is a seed planted in every moment you choose to be present, grateful, and kind. It is not about perfection, nor is it always loud or bright. Sometimes it is simply the quiet peace that sits with you in the darkest night, a refuge that no external circumstance can take away. The Monk and the Flower, a story of acceptance. A young woman once asked a wise monk, "How do I become happy forever?" The monk took her to a garden. He pointed to a flower and said, "See this flower. It blooms, it fades, that is life. But if you learn to enjoy the blooming and accept the fading, you'll find happiness that lasts. Don't run after happiness. Let it come to you like a gentle breeze. Sit with yourself, breathe, notice the small things, the warmth of sunlight, the sound of birds, the taste of food, the softness of your own breath. These ordinary moments are the doorway to lasting joy. When sadness or fear visit, as they will, remember, these feelings are guests, not permanent residents. Let them come, let them go, and return to your true home within. You are worthy of happiness, love, and peace, no matter what your mind says, no matter your past, no matter the world's judgments. True happiness is your birthright. It is not lost, not waiting for you to achieve or acquire something. It has always been inside you. Breathe deeply, smile softly, and welcome happiness home. The illusion of control, the river and the sand. Listen to the wind. You can hear it, feel it move the trees and grass, but you cannot catch it in your hand. Life is like this. There is much you cannot hold or control, no matter how tightly you try. Most suffering comes from the illusion that we can and must control everything. Our future, how others see us, how life unfolds, our emotions, our success, even our relationship. But life is not a machine to be controlled. It is a river flowing, changing, deepening, rising. You cannot stop a river with your hands. You cannot stop life from moving as it does. At first, this truth may frighten you. If I don't control my life, won't everything fall apart? This is the voice of fear. The deeper truth is, you never had full control. You didn't choose where or when you were born, the weather, the aging of your body, or the actions of others. And yet here you are, breathing, walking, still capable of finding peace. Control is an illusion. Clinging too tightly brings suffering. Life is like sand held in your palm. If you keep your hand open, the sand stays. If you squeeze, it slips away. The more you try to control, the more you lose. Peace, trust. The beauty of the present moment. Letting go is not giving up or being careless. It is an act of trust. Trusting that life knows its own way, even when you do not. In Buddhism, this is called surrender, not to weakness, but to wisdom. The Buddha taught that clinging to control, to expectations, to how things should be, is a root of suffering. The way out is to loosen your grip. The Man in the River, a parable of surrender. There was once a man caught in a river's strong current. He panicked, thrashed, tried to swim against it, and nearly drowned. A monk watching called out, "Stop fighting the river, float." The man listened. He stopped resisting. He lay on his back and let the water carry him. Slowly, gently, the river brought him to safety. The river was never his enemy. His struggle was. Life is like that river. If you stop fighting, if you float with trust, life often carries you where you need to be. But to float, you must let go. Let go of needing all the answers. Let go of always being right. Let go of how things should be. Let go of the past you cannot change and the future you cannot control. Letting go does not make you weak. It makes you free. It allows you to live, not in the illusion of control, but in the reality of the present, with all its uncertainty and beauty. The invitation, "Come, child, let's sit again. Listen to the wind. Feel the flow. Trust the river of your life." You are not in charge of every wave, but you can learn to float. Let go. Be kind. Be at peace. The seeds of happiness are already within you. Let them grow. The practice of letting go, a guide to inner freedom. Letting go is a moment-by-moment practice. Letting go is not a single act, but an ongoing practice, gentle, patient, repeated day after day. Notice when you're trying to control, when you're forcing, planning, steering, or trying to bend life to your will. Pause, breathe deeply, feel the breath move through you. A reminder that nothing is meant to be held forever. Speak gently to yourself. I release this. I trust life. Even if you feel afraid, say it kindly. Letting go is not about indifference. It's about relaxing your grip so you and those around you can breathe. If you hold someone too tightly, you only push them away. True love is space, trust and freedom. Let people leave or stay because they choose, not because you control. With the future, let go of the illusion that your plans will keep you safe. Life does not follow your schedule, any more than the sun rises on command. Flowers bloom when they're ready. The river flows as it will. Letting go is trusting that whatever comes, you have the inner resources to meet it. Your emotions are not your masters. Sadness, fear, joy. These feelings rise like clouds. You can't stop their arrival, but you can choose how you meet them. The sky does not fear storms. They come and they go. The sky remains wide, deep and still, unaffected by the passing weather. You are like the sky. Storms may come, but they do not define you. When you notice yourself caught in emotion, repeat, I am not my anger. I am not my sadness. I am not my fear. Let these feelings visit. Let them go. Every inhale is a new beginning. Every exhale is a letting go. The story of the lake and the ripples. A young monk once complained to his master, my mind is noisy. I want to control my thoughts. The master took him to a still lake and threw in a stone. Ripples spread. Try to stop them, the master said. The monk waved his hands in the water, making more ripples. The master smiled and said, sometimes the way to stop the ripples is to stop interfering. Just let things settle. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to know everything. You just have to be here, open, trusting. You are not your thoughts. Most people believe they are their thoughts. If the mind says, I'm broken, they accept it as fact. If it whispers, you can't handle it, they believe it's true. But the mind is ever changing. One moment it's full of hope, the next despair. If your thoughts were truly you, would they change so often? Your thoughts are like clouds passing through the sky of your awareness. They come, they go, they are not the sky. You are the sky. A Zen master once gave a young man a glass of muddy water and told him to hold it still. As the mud settled, the water became clear. That is your mind, the master said. Let it be, and clarity will come. How to practice every day. When you feel tension, pause. Notice, am I trying to control this? Breathe. Each breath is a small act of letting go. Repeat to yourself, I release this, I trust life. Remember, you are not required to fix, solve, or know everything. Sometimes your only task is to be present. Let your goals remain, but don't tie your peace to outcomes. Care deeply but don't cling. With others, give space. Love is not ownership, it is freedom. With yourself, be gentle. You are not your past, your mistakes, or your worries. The path ahead, letting go, is not weakness. It is wisdom. Not resignation, but trust. You may still walk with goals and intentions, but your peace is rooted not in results, but in your own steady presence, like a tree, rooted in trust, not in tension. As you practice, life becomes lighter, not because your circumstances change, but because you stop carrying the weight of the need to control. Let the rain fall. Let the sun rise. Let people come and go. You remain present, aware, open. You are not your thoughts. You are not your feeling. You are the awareness that notices them pass. In that noticing, freedom grows. A final invitation, sit quietly. Let your shoulders drop. Breathe slowly. There is nothing to prove, nothing to fix. Just be here. Just listen. Let go, and let the river carry you home. In summary, letting go is a gentle, daily practice of noticing when you grasp, softening your grip, and returning to trust. You are not your thoughts or feelings. They are visitors. You are the host. Peace is found not in controlling life, but in participating in it with open hands and an open heart. This is the path of wisdom, the way of freedom, and the foundation of true peace. The practice of mindful awareness, witnessing thoughts without being defined by them. The nature of mental noise. Much of our suffering comes not from the events of life, but from the stories our minds spin about those events. I can't do this. They don't care about me. I'll never be enough. These thoughts are rarely rooted in objective reality. Instead, they are echoes of old wounds, habits of fear, or anxieties about a future that hasn't arrived. The more we believe these thoughts, the more we suffer. But thoughts, especially painful ones, are not always true, nor are they kind. They are often mental noise, chatter that does not represent who we truly are. The illusion of personal narrative. When someone doesn't greet us, we might think, they are ignoring me. But the truth could simply be that they're preoccupied. When we make a mistake, the thought I'm a failure leaps to mind. But the reality might be that we're learning and growing. The stories we tell ourselves are not facts. They are interpretations, often colored by pain and tiredness. Recognizing this is the first step toward inner peace. Mindfulness. Freedom through observation. Mindfulness is the practice of watching thoughts without believing, fighting, or clinging to them. Imagine your mind as a river, and your thoughts as leaves floating by. You don't chase them. You don't grab them. You simply notice, there is a thought. Then you let it go. This gentle observation creates distance between who you are and the transient content of your mind. Freedom grows from this space. Freedom from self-judgment, from fear, from the frantic storm of mental activity. The more you practice, the more you realize you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that notices them. Meditation as everyday practice. Here's a simple exercise to cultivate this awareness. Sit quietly for 5 minutes each day. Close your eyes and notice what arises in your mind. Worry, memory, planning, anything. Acknowledge each thought without judgment. This is just a thought. I am the watcher, not the thought. Let the thought pass like a cloud drifting across the sky, a wave returning to the ocean. Repeat, I am not this thought. I am the one who notices. This practice does not silence the mind. It changes your relationship to it. Thoughts may still come, but you no longer have to believe them or be ruled by them. You become free to choose which thoughts to act on and which to let go. The deeper truth. You are awareness itself. Thoughts are visitors, you are the host. Some are helpful guides, but many are just old habits of fear, inherited voices from a lifetime of conditioning. You're not smart enough. You don't deserve love. You're broken. These are not truths, just stories woven by a mind that doesn't always know better. When a harsh thought appears, greet it gently. Ah, my old friend self-doubt, I see you. When anxiety comes, breathe and say, this is just fear passing through. I do not need to follow it. When sadness lingers, hold it kindly. I hear you. You may stay for a while, but you do not define me. This is the heart of inner freedom. Not rejecting thoughts, but not being owned by them. The quiet place beneath the storm. Your thoughts may be loud, but your awareness is deeper and quieter, like the stillness at the bottom of the ocean while waves crash above. You are that stillness. When you return to this place again and again, the mind naturally quiets, not because it has been forced, but because it is no longer fed by belief and resistance. You stop chasing every thought, stop obeying every fear. Instead, you rest. You watch. You breathe. Living with awareness, as you walk through life, your mind may still churn, but you no longer live inside the storm. You step out into the silence that was always there, beneath the noise. You are not the storm. You are the screen. Impermanent thoughts come and go, but your presence remains, stable, clear, whole. This is the secret of impermanence. Everything changes, even suffering. No thought, no emotion, no circumstance lasts forever. This too shall pass. An invitation to sit in quiet. Come, let's sit together in the quiet. Feel the world's movement, things coming, things going, emotions rising and falling. Nothing stays the same for too long. You are not your thoughts. You are the space through which they pass. You are bigger than your fears, deeper than the noise. You are not broken. You are awareness, whole and at peace. Let the thoughts come, let them go. Remember, you are the sky. The peace was always here, waiting for you to note. The wisdom of impermanence, a gift of freedom. Child, today I want to share a truth so simple, so powerful, that it can bring peace even to the most troubled heart. This truth is everything changes. All that arises will pass. This is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to set you free. In Buddhism, this is called anicca, the law of impermanence. Everything, every thought, every emotion, every breath, is temporary. Not even joy, sorrow, fear, or excitement lasts forever. Not even your next breath is guaranteed. Yet, this is not something to fear. This is simply how life is. This is its nature. Think of the sky. Some days clouds gather. Some days rain falls. Some days the sun shines brilliantly. But the sky holds on to none of these. It lets each come, and it lets each go. You too are like that sky. Vast, open, unshaken by what passes through. Have you ever believed, this will never end? And yet in time, you noticed, the sadness faded, the anger lifted, the storm inside subsided. It may have taken months or even years, but it shifted. And this pattern does not stop. What you feel today will not be what you feel forever. There is a story of a king who asked his wise men for a sentence that would hold true in all times, in happiness, in sorrow, in victory, in loss. The wise men handed him a ring inscribed with a simple phrase, "This too shall pass." Whenever he was overwhelmed by joy or sorrow, the king read these words, and remembered, nothing lasts forever. When your heart is heavy, when your mind whispers, "I cannot go on," whisper back gently, "This too shall pass." Because it will. All feelings, even the most painful, are like waves. They rise, they crash, they return to the sea. When we forget this truth, we suffer more than we need to. We try to freeze joy in place, and we try to banish sorrow at once. But both efforts only increase our pain. Clinging to joy only makes us anxious. Resisting sadness only prolongs it. But when we accept impermanence, we become wise. We learn to enjoy what is beautiful, knowing it won't last. We bear what is difficult, knowing it too will fade. This understanding is not cold. It is gentle, warm, full of grace. Think of a flower. It blooms brilliantly, bringing joy. In time it fades. Not because anything is wrong, but because this is the nature of all things. We do not love flowers less for their brevity. We love them more for their preciousness. So it is with life. Every smile, every sunset, every embrace, every tear, all are fleeting. This is what makes them beautiful, what makes them matter. When we know this deeply, we stop clutching, we soften. We open our hands and our hearts. We let things come, and we let them go. This is real peace. Let's try a simple reflection. Close your eyes for a moment. Think of a pain you once carried, a loss, a failure, a heartbreak. Ask yourself, is that pain still exactly as it was? Likely, it has changed. It might be smaller. It might have taught you something. It might have opened your heart in a new way. This is impermanence in action. Now think of a moment of joy, a success, a celebration, a peaceful day. Is it still here, exactly as it was? But does its memory still bring warmth? Yes, this too is impermanence. Child, everything including you is in motion. Your body, thoughts, emotions, dreams, preferences, all change with time. But the one who notices these changes, the awareness, remains. This is what we return to in Zen. When we know all things are temporary, we stop trying to control. We stop fearing endings. We stop rushing. We start living slowly, attentively, fully. We savor our food. We listen deeply. We hold a hand as if it's the last chance. We gaze at the sky with wonder, because we know nothing here is forever. This is not something to fear. It is something to honor. When pain comes, we do not panic. We say, "Ah, here you are. Stay as long as you need. I know you will pass." When joy comes, we do not clutch. We say, "How lovely you are. Visit as long as you wish. I know you too will pass." In both we remain steady. Imagine sitting by a river, watching leaves, sticks, flowers, even little boats drift by. You don't reach in, you simply watch. You let each pass. So it is with your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences. Watch them, bless them, let them go. Nothing that comes stays forever. This is the power of impermanence. This is the path of peace. This is how we learn to live with open hands, open hearts, and open eyes. And you, dear one, are becoming more than the river's fleeting shapes. You are becoming the stillness beneath it all. This is your practice. This is your wisdom. This is your home. The final teaching: you are already enough. Child, nothing that leaves takes away your peace, unless you let it. Suffering most often begins when we forget impermanence. We tell ourselves a bad day will last forever, or that our sadness defines us, or that what we've lost can never return. But in truth, all things are always changing. When you remember this deeply, you begin to relax. You begin to trust life's unfolding. Even the deepest winter ends. The longest night gives way to dawn. So when life feels heavy, remind yourself gently, this is not forever, this too shall pass. And when life feels sweet, savor it fully. Let me enjoy this while it is here, because this too shall pass. In this way you walk the path of wisdom. You learn to dance with life's flow, not against it, less afraid of endings, more grateful for beginnings, more peaceful in the middle. This is the secret of impermanence. When you truly live this truth, something beautiful happens. You are no longer afraid to love, because you are no longer afraid to lose. Love becomes fearless, open, gentle. So breathe deeply, and whisper with me, this moment is precious, because it is passing, and I am here for it, fully. Yes, be here. This moment will not come again. You are already enough. The journey so far, you have walked a long road, your feet are tired, your heart has carried much. Maybe you arrived with pain, confusion, questions, but now you leave with something deeper than answers. You leave with presence, with peace, with yourself. You do not have to become someone else, not richer, not smarter, not more liked, not more perfect. You do not have to fix yourself to be worthy. The world will try to convince you otherwise, but those voices are like wind through the trees. Let them pass. Do not live your life trying to prove your worth. That's a race with no finish line. Simply rest in your own being. If you are alive, breathing, feeling, that is already a miracle. The story of the seed. Let me tell you a story. A small seed waited at the forest's edge. All around were towering oaks, stretching pines, wide maples. The seed looked up and sighed, "I'll never be like them. I'm too small, too weak, too slow." The forest answered softly, "Grow in your own way, little one." The oak grew tall because it did not rush. The pine stood firm because it did not compare. The maple spread wide branches because it trusted time. So the seed did not hurry. It took root. It drank sun and rain. It stretched, little by little. And one day, without even noticing, it became a tree. You are like that seed. Don't rush. Don't compare. Don't doubt. Your growth is already happening. Slowly, beautifully, in your own way. You do not need to become. In Zen we speak of returning to yourself, to the breath, to the present. Everything you long for, peace, happiness, love, meaning, it is not out there, it is here now, in you. Yes, there may still be pain, there will be wounds, there will be longings. Being enough does not mean being perfect. It means being real. It means having cracks, because that's how the light gets in. The final reminder: if you ever forget this truth, place your hand gently over your heart. Feel it beat. It beats without your asking. It beats through all your doubts. Your heart says yes to you. again and again, even when you say no to yourself. Recalling the path. Let's recall what we've learned together. Sadness comes, and it goes. You are not your thoughts. You can breathe through fear, sit with pain, let go of control. Happiness is not in things, but in presence. Be kind to others, and especially to yourself. All things change, and now, finally, you learn you are already whole, just as you are. Isn't that beautiful? You don't need to walk faster, or shout louder. You don't need to have all the answers. Just keep walking slowly, gently, mindfully, with open eyes and a soft heart. This is the Zen way. This is the way of awakening. It does not arrive in big flashes or loud voices. It comes quietly, like dew on the grass, like light through the trees, like peace inside your chest. Let your life be simple. Wake up, bow to the sun, and live fully, softly, courageously, just as you are. Final invitation, walking the path of presence. As this journey draws to a close, let these words be your gentle reminder and encouragement for the path ahead. The art of being. Drink tea, savor the simple moment, taste the warmth, feel the cup, let yourself be here, fully, smile at someone. Even a small kindness ripples outward, touching lives beyond your knowing. Work with care, whether sweeping the floor or writing a poem. Bring your whole attention, each action matters. Rest when you're tired. There is wisdom in pausing, in listening when your body says it needs to stop. Cry when you need. Tears are not weakness. They are honesty, the heart's way of washing itself clean. Laugh when it comes. Let joy surprise you. Let it bubble up without permission. Always, always return to your breath. Inhale, exhale. Again, this is your anchor, your true home. You don't need to fix the whole world. You don't need to become someone else. Your presence, just as you are, is enough. Your softness, your openness, your willingness to be here, these are not flaws. They are your gifts. Letting go of the chase. Let others rush. Let others chase. There is no race to finish, no prize to win at the end of hurrying. You child, walk slowly. If you ever feel lost, sit still. The path is always beneath your feet. You've never truly been off the path, only learning to see it, to trust. Gratitude and recognition. Thank you for listening, for sitting in silence, for walking beside me. I may be a Zen master in name, but you are the true master of your heart, of your peace, of your life. Awakening is not found in effort, but in presence. Wherever you go, your quiet attention brings light, not by striving, but by simply being. Remember, there is so much love in this world, so much beauty, so much to feel. All of it is yours, if you just pause long enough to note a gentle call to action. Before you go, if this journey touched your heart, if it helped you feel lighter, softer, or more awake, please support Insightful Journey. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us reach others who may be silently struggling, building a gentle world together, one quiet heart at a time. You are never alone. You are loved, even in silence. You are enough, even when you feel broken. You are never truly alone. Bow gently, breathe deeply, walk on. Your journey continues. And as you step forward, know that I am smiling behind you, wishing you peace, presence, and the courage to shine softly wherever you go.